even though you cannot make the physical sacrifice, and to fast in its place.
Brother Sadi says that also you can pay someone to sacrifice on your behalf?
Yeah, paying somebody to sacrifice on your behalf is considered like you sacrificing. Of course, it is recommended if you can do it yourself. It is better to do it yourself. Just like those of us that don't make Hajj here, we're also recommended to make a sacrifice. Those of us who are in our countries didn't go to make the Hajj. It is better for you to cut the neck of the animal, make the dua yourself. However, it is allowable for you to pay a professional butcher, Muslim butcher, to make that sacrifice for you.
Brother Sadi has said that in Saudi Arabia, it is prohibited that Jews even go to slaughter.
No, it is not prohibited. In some areas, due to organizational purposes to avoid the spread of disease, or for whatever reasons, where people might just be sacrificing and dropping the animals in people's paths, and to try to organize things and do it in a manner which is more clean, in maintaining cleanliness and health, and also to be able to utilize the meats properly after the Hajj, etc. They have organized it so the slaughter takes place in certain places. But if you particularly want to slaughter, you can find a place in Mecca where you will be able to slaughter yourself. It's not impossible. If it is a big issue for you that you want to make that slaughter yourself, if you want to do it, you can find a way to do it. See, because there are slaughterhouses throughout Mecca itself. You see, the slaughter does not have to take place in Mina or so-and-so. There are slaughterhouses throughout Mecca where they're slaughtering animals all the time. People slaughter animals to have their meals, etc. So one can go to one of those slaughterhouses and perform the slaughter there.
Or is it permissible to perform Hajj on behalf of someone who for some reason the person cannot perform the Hajj?
Yes, the Hajj Badal, where a person makes Hajj on behalf of somebody else who's unable to perform it due to reasons of sickness or ill health, or some reason which stops them from doing it. It is permissible for you to do it even though they're living, if you have done for yourself already. That's the only condition, that you cannot do it when you have not already done your own Hajj. And of course, when you're doing it for them, that has to be your intention, that you're doing it and the reward is going to them. You will get reward for the service that you're doing, but you would not get reward for the Hajj which you may perform.
Llevo varios años haciendo Ramadan en Madrid o en Nueva York. Muy diferente de very different Ramadan. He has fasted for a number of years in Madrid, Spain, and it's much different than fasting in a place such as Saudi Arabia. Tienes que montar el metro, mujeres una vez en novel, otra vez se sienten provocados, otra vez en excitar, hasta qué punto las mujeres el deseo sexual, todas esas cosas se rompen el camino. And when you mount, when you get inside the buses and trains and you walk in the streets, you see ladies half naked, everything is busting out all over. I mean, how do you try to control yourself? I mean, sometimes you lower your gaze, and sometimes you look the other way, but sometimes it's just right in front of you. How do you handle it? In the metropolitan, does this break your fasting? You need some clarification here, please.
Well, yeah, for those...
They're just all over the place.
Well, for the fast, where we have to, those of us who fast in circumstances out of places like in Arabia, obviously the fast here in terms of the challenge, in terms of the lewdness of the society, where there's, all this sexuality out there in the society that we may find back in Philippines, or as our brother's asking in Madrid, he's from Spain, our brother's from Spain. or, you know, in New York City, or, you know, those of us who are coming from Western countries where, you know, the level of sexuality of the society is very high, you know, nakedness is all around us, you know, how does one deal with a fast there? I mean, here we can see it is relatively easy in that sense. We don't have those challenges. Does it break our fast, you know, if we see these things when we're fasting in these other areas? Well, you know, as the Prophet ﷺ had said in regards to seeing corruption, the first look is for ourselves, and the second look is for Satan. This is the general principle. In other words, in moving around the society, you cannot wear a blindfold. You have to function, you have to exist, and you have to walk around with your eyes open. However, after having seen something which is, you know, corrupt, you know the point at which what you saw was not by your choice, and at the point that now what you're seeing is by your choice. You see, when what happens, you change from a glance or a look to a stare, right? When it changes over into the stare, where you're now taking pleasure from your look, then of course you're destroying your fast. What was seen outside of your control, this doesn't destroy your fast. And of course, the greater the trials that you are on in your fast, and the more patient you are, the greater the rewards. So conceivably, it is conceivable that somebody fasting in Madrid could get a greater reward for his fast in Madrid, though he's seeing all these things, than a person fasting here in Riyadh, who's not seeing these things. But it depends on how he handles it. So, you know, we know this is general. This is why even making Umrah in Ramadan, the Prophet ﷺ said, one who makes Umrah in Ramadan is like one who makes Hajj with me. Because the trials of making the Umrah, the difficulties that are involved in making Umrah while fasting, you know, because of the trials involved here, the reward becomes even greater. So, this is a general principle, that, you know, Allah is going to judge us according to our circumstances. He's not going to give you less of a reward. There's a sister with some questions at the back there, please. He's not going to give you less of a reward because of the fact that you are exposed to certain things, and give somebody more of a reward because they were not exposed to those things. Because this is outside of your control.
If you went to Mecca by car from Riyadh with the intention of performing Umrah, do you have to fast from here?
If a person went to Mecca by car and they began the fast here, do they have to keep the fast?
Well, they're traveling, it's like 10 hours, 11 hours.
Yeah. You know, it's a 10 or 11 hour journey. Are you required to keep that fast if you began the fast? No. As a traveler, you're allowed to break the fast. However, in the morning, you cannot say, I am going to travel at 12 o'clock, so I'm not going to fast today. Not begin the fast. If you are here in Riyadh, when the time for fasting comes, you have to begin it. Because though it may be your intention to travel at 12 o'clock,